I'm literally struggling to get this pipe out. It's just getting stuck on everything. But yeah, that is so much nicer. Here we go. Right then, let's go ahead and install this EGR Delete Kit. Hold up, what are you doing? Slow down, son. Explain to the audience what's going on. Take a step back, start from the beginning. What on earth is an EGR valve? And why am I deleting it? This is about to get as technical as it gets on this channel. An exhaust gas recirculation valve tries to limit the amount of emissions caused by combustion in a diesel engine. So how the EGR works is it returns a small portion of the exhaust gases to the engine combustion chamber, lowering combustion temperatures and therefore reducing the amount of nitrogen oxide produced. What it's for is it's for emissions. It's to reduce a small amount of emissions. So it's all good and healthy, yeah? Good for the engine. So why am I deleting it? The problem with an EGR valve is that over time it builds up with carbon and eventually it will get blocked. And I have absolutely no idea what my one looks like. It's on 100,000 miles as of last week. I don't know if it's ever been replaced. I'm deleting it because I've been told it increases miles per gallon, increases performance, and it should make your engine run smoother. But is it legal? Not really. To pass an MOT, your diesel car needs a EGR valve, as well as a DPF is another filter in the exhaust. And if you remove that, that's the thing that makes your exhaust and your car go as you let off the acceleration. It's mainly for performance if you delete the DPF, and it's for people who think that black smoke coming out the back of the diesel car looks cool. I'm not about that. I'm not a huge fan of diesels, but I need it for work, so this is why I've got it. And I really just want to play with something, so this is why I'm doing this. If you are looking to do your DPF delete, either on a 2 litre TDI like mine, or on a 1.9 TDI, you can head over to DARKSIDE Developments and get your EGR Valve Delete Kit. And if you use this code, BWTV, you'll get free shipping, free next day shipping. You cannot beat that. Use it, guys. It's there. Save yourself £7. Use it. So this kit consists of one of these and these things in here. However, you will need to order this 19mm coupling separately. Future Brad here, don't bother going for that straight pipe. Get yourself 2 of these 90-degree 19mm connectors, as the pipes are in such an awkward place you can't bend them round, so you need to do basically a 180-degree turn. So get yourself some of these and save yourself the hassle. Let's smash this out. This is the first time I've ever messed with a diesel engine, and hopefully it goes well. First of all, we need to actually look under this engine cover to see what we're working with. And we're looking for something that looks similar to this in the engine bay, which I believe will be that. The next thing you need to do is basically take this metal pipe off, but to get to them bolts, you need to loosen this coolant pipe. One bolt here, and then there's 2 bolts just down here. Just follow this black pipe and you'll see them. And now you can get to these 2 bolts here. The hard part is these 2 back here. I don't know how I'm going to reach them. I don't even know if my tools will be able to make it. Later. Now finally, the bolts are out. That took me a lot longer than it should have. It's just tucked away right at the back of this, so you have to try and move all of this out of the way. I think the actual pipe is held on with one more bolt somewhere. One more nut hidden away right at the back of the engine, and hopefully this pipe should now just pull straight through. Turns out there was one more bolt which it was attached to, which is now just fallen inside the engine. F it, it's not going back on, I don't need it. Now we just gotta wiggle it out. Come on, come on, where are you? I'm hoping this is the hardest bit. I'm literally struggling to get the pipe out. It's just getting stuck on everything. Oh, I'm pausing it. I'm getting this thing out. was hard. The guides tell you that there's one bolt which is on the main block of the engine, but then there's also another bolt which is attached to another pipe, and which is why at first it wouldn't come out, and at the end everything just kept getting stuck at everything. But if you take a quick look at the inside of this, I don't know how well the camera's going to show it, I can already tell that there is a massive amount of build-up. Hopefully we're going to get a huge difference in the way this thing drives. So now what we need to do is everything which is over this side of the engine, so the big inlet pipe, we need to take off, and then I think we just need to undo the screws holding the actual EGR valve onto the throttle body or onto the inlet manifold. First up, remove this pipe, and to do that you need a flathead screwdriver and pry the little clip out. The clip doesn't need to be fully removed, just enough so that the actual tension is off of the pipe, and there we go, that's off. Now there's 3 5mm Allen heads. It'll now come off, but you will need a hammer and a piece of wood to knock it off. I still got one more bolt, so there's 4 bolts, not 3. The internet lied to me. That is a long bolt. Now it really is a moment of truth. Let's take a look. It is off. It's actually not looking too bad. It's actually looking pretty good, which is a bit disappointing to see. I was hoping it would be absolutely covered in muck. Look at the other side. Oh, okay, the other side's a bit of a different story. The thing is that what most people get is that this actually completely clogs up from that. That's like solid. I'm not going to touch it, but that's pretty much solid. So this is what we're binning. Not actually going to bin it. I'm going to keep it just in case. I'm going to have to end it for today, as it's Christmas Day tomorrow and I got some wrapping to do. So I'll catch up with you guys probably Saturday or Sunday and we'll finish this off. I hope you guys had a good Christmas. And we're back after Christmas. It's all over. All that hype is now gone. Let's get straight back into doing this EGR delete. So the EGR is out, EGR coolant pipe is out, and now we need to get the EGR cooler out. And I found something a little bit different. So far, every single guide that I've been looking at for the EGR delete, it's looking a little bit different to the engine I've got. I've got the BRD engine code. The engine is mounted sideways, which is kind of making things a little bit easier, but they've also changed up a lot of stuff. On the other engines, the actual cooler looks like a bit of a block, and it's shaped weird, and it's obvious that it's the EGR cooler, but on this one it looks kind of just like another exhaust pipe. So is this thing here, this is the airbox. I've just had to remove a piece of plastic just to get a better view, but this is the EGR cooler here, and what we did earlier was take off the coolant pipe which was at the back of this. So now what we need to do, I think there should be 4 screws holding this onto the engine, and then that'll come loose, and then we need to take off this boost hose here and plug it. And then there's 2 coolant hoses, this one and one just down there, which we might even just connect them together. And then the last thing to do is take off this pipe which runs into the exhaust manifold and block that off. You've got to be so careful with all of this, try not to drop anything down into the engine bay. Another one. I think I'm gonna have to take off the intake pipe to get a better view of what's down there. There's another one just in the middle underneath. I can't actually see it, but I can feel it. Just about get it with a wobbly end. There it is. Is it wobbling yet? So I'm not sure where this last screw is. I'm going to take this pipe off just so I can see what's behind it. Okay, so there's 2 kind of in the same place in the middle, just next to each other. Let's try and get this 4th one out. Oh, I think I got it. Just about. And that is number 4. So next up, the reason why it's slightly wiggling but obviously not coming off is because I forgot about it, but the pipe that connects to the exhaust manifold is still plugged in. So which is this one here. Just follow that down and underneath, and it's just 2 12mm nuts holding it on. 1. Hopefully sliding the airbox just out of the way is going to give me enough room to get down there. And that's that bolt falling down, but it's off. We don't need the bolt. It's fine. Cool, so everything with the EGR cooler is loose. All we've got left connected is 1 coolant pipe here and another coolant pipe down there, and then this small boost hose here. Take off this boost line. And this is now where it gets messy, because now we got to undo them two coolant pipes. What I'm first going to do is loosen the lid on the expansion tank, just so when I take the hoses off it doesn't burst with pressure. Oh, that's not going to fit down there, is it? I'm going to lose coolant. I can't even save it. The clips are loose. Now all we need to do is pull these pipes back. So let me get this again and see if this works. Right, there we go. So that's all the coolant that's just coming from the actual cooler. So hopefully, I'm looking at my coolant tank. Oh, it is going down. All right, let's do this back up. And now what we're going to do, put them two pipes together using this. It bypasses the EGR cooler. Whee, that's a lot of coolant. We're out, boys. We got the cooler out. Next thing to do is grab the blanking plate, and this is going to go over the exhaust manifold down here. So this thing down here is what we're looking at. Make sure the gasket is still on, and what you're just going to do is put this on, and then put the bolts that they provide on really tight, because if this isn't on tight it will scream, and you don't want that. I mean, you might do, but I don't want that. Just be careful not to snap the studs. Next up is to blank this pipe that went into the cooler. One of the spare bolts that you don't need anymore, and just plug it in. A little bolt, and just to be safe, get a little cable tie around it. What we now need to do, grab the main bulk of the EGR valve, probably give it a bit of a clean up first, take off this part and replace it with this. So essentially that's going to bolt onto that, and we're going to put it back as it was. And this is the actual EGR valve that we don't need. And I'm finally back to doing this car again. It's only been about 2 seconds for you guys, but for me, it's been over a week, all because I didn't want to run the risk of bending that connector to the two pipes and making the coolant pipes collapse. So if you're gonna do this, go for to make the pipes connect up a lot better. Right, I'm hoping everything's back together. I put everything back on exactly the same way we took everything off. Here we go, we're gonna start it up. The battery might even be dead. And after all of that, I think the battery's flat. Which is why this is an absolutely perfect time to show off what I've been sent by these two companies at almost the exact same time. They just sent me this for free to try it out, to see what I think of it. One of them is a battery tester, and the other one is a portable jump starter, which doesn't require charging. It has no battery inside it. It uses whatever technology it has inside to use the existing charge on the battery in the car to kind of boost itself. I don't know. We're going to try that in a bit, but first I actually want to see if it is the battery itself which is dead. So here's the battery tester, all in this fancy box. Cars, trucks and boats and everything like that, if you want to give it a go. Link is in the description for both of these, and for this what we need to do is make sure the car's completely off, and then connect the red one to the positive and the black one to the negative. And it can do all this stuff as well, charging test, cranking test. We're just going to go straight into the battery test. I'm not too sure what battery this is. I know it's a 12-volt battery. I don't know anything about that, so I'm just going to go for regular flooded. Select standard. Right, I've spotted it. It's EN. AEN on the battery. So we're going to go for that one. Setting rate 500 CCA. I think it's a 720 is the exciting bit. I don't even know if I've done it right. Health 81%, charge 60%, rated 720A, EN, that's actually the battery, so yeah, that's correct. So what does this mean? Good recharge. Does that mean good to recharge? Because the charge is only on 60%. So that means that the actual battery's okay. Let me see what it says in the manual. That's what it's saying. I'm going to assume that the battery's good. Let's give this one a go. Both of these seem really, really expensive. High tech, like proper packaged stuff. This feels weighty. Doesn't feel like cheap shit. We've got the jump start cables. Massive battery pack itself. Oh, I've got to show you this. So it's charging up there. It says 26%. 30%, 31, 32. Right, so while it's charging, this is how it works. AUTOWIT batteryless car jump starter with built-in supercapacitor allows it to use the weak battery of the power of your car or other power source to recharge and then jump start your car instantly. So it's using the battery here to charge this up, which then gives it enough power to jump start the battery again. We're in the future, man. 75% at the moment. Once that's fully charged, you can press the button, then it gives you a 10-second countdown. You need to get in the car, and when the buzzer goes off again, start the car up. Here we go. Here we go. That is the future. Link is in the description for both of these products. Big thanks to TOPDON and AUTOWIT for sending me them. That's some good stuff, and I'm so glad that I've got these now to keep. Right, let's have a quick look at what's going on with the engine. At the moment, all of the coolant that I spilt is burning off, so that's okay. Not too fussed about that. What else have we got going on here? So this is obviously the EGR Delete, looks okay. I don't feel like there's any leaks coming out anywhere. I just need to keep an eye on the coolant because obviously that's gonna drop slightly. No warning lights on either. How I've been told to bleed the coolant system is to put the temperature up to maximum, let the car heat up, and just blast this for a moment. Well, it's just started raining outside, so while the Audi warms up, I am just gonna stay in here, try and warm up myself. But what's all of that behind me? That's all Corrado parts. It means that, guys, what's going on? Why is the Corrado looking like this? The whole front end's been taken off. I'm gonna explain that in the next video. These are the bits that we took off in the end on the Audi. Got the EGR cooler, the EGR valve itself, well, the other half of it, and then the EGR cooler pipe. We're gonna go on a drive to see how the Audi feels. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it feels a lot smoother. We'll find out. Let's go. Okay, here we go, first drive. The car didn't quite get up to temperature, so I think on this trip, the coolant light might come on to say that we need to fill up the coolant again. Who knows, we'll find out. Oh, we've now got the engine light on, so that's expected. I didn't quite expect it quite so soon. Oh, already the throttle feels different. I know that there was someone who was really badly after a night drive, night POV of this car. So this is about as close as you're gonna get. So, ignore the scraping. The scraping is the bottom of the engine tray. It's kind of hanging off. So just ignore the scraping. Before I took the EGR off, the EGR was like spooling up, letting go, spooling up, letting go. Well, the turbo, I should say, not the EGR. But now it feels like so smooth. So smooth. That was a lot smoother than what the car was like with the EGR in. Yeah, this is loads better. This feels like how this car should feel. Everything is a lot smoother. I can't really compare it because I never showed you guys what the car was like before I did this, so it's a bit awkward, but all I can say is the car is a hell of a lot smoother. It feels like, I don't know how to explain it, it's like there was a barrier in the way and the barrier was only letting the minority of smoothness through. Yeah man, that's loads better. Even downshifts. Oh, so much smoother. This has fixed all the issues that I had on this car that I didn't want to tell you guys about because it was a new car. It feels a kind of a bit different to drive. I gotta get used to that. But yeah, that is so much nicer. Why is there a guy walking in the middle of the road? So much nicer to drive. Or just get your EGR cleaned out. Spend the extra money, get the EGR Do it properly if you want to keep things legal. But if you're having kind of boosting issues with a 2 litre TDI or even a 1.9, or the car's just not running great, I think, fingers crossed, this has solved it. Even if I was to let go of the throttle, it used to jerk forward, kind of like something stopping it, whereas now it's a lot smoother. Guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please give the video a like. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff. Obviously, the next video is going to be what I showed you guys earlier about the Corrado. Links in the description for the DARKSIDE EGR Delete. And I'll include the 2 brass 90-degree connectors as well that I had to buy. So everything is in the description. Hope you guys enjoy this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one very soon. Cheers, guys. See you later.